parallel forces. So there are two types, like parallel forces and unlike parallel forces. So first of all, we will see the like parallel forces. So like parallel forces. So I will write down the definition. The parallel forces which are acting in the same direction are called as like parallel forces. Are called as like parallel forces. So the parallel forces which are acting in the same direction are the like parallel forces. So if I draw the diagram of this, see, these are the like parallel forces which are acting in the same direction, which are parallel to each other. You can call this as also the like parallel forces. These are also the like parallel forces. Okay, this side, or you can see like this. These are nothing but like parallel forces. Upward also, or incline at an angle theta. Okay, it is like this also. These are nothing but the like parallel forces. You can show these forces are like this also. These are the like parallel forces. Okay, at any angle theta. So the parallel forces which are acting in the same direction are called as like parallel forces. Unlike parallel forces, the parallel forces which are acting in opposite directions are called as unlike parallel forces. Okay. So next definition is unlike parallel forces. So next is unlike parallel forces. Unlike parallel forces. So here the parallel forces which are acting in opposite direction are called as unlike parallel forces. Unlike parallel forces. Okay. So unlike parallel forces, if I show you with the example, then see, suppose now this force is moving upward, this is also moving upward, this is the set of forces, now this force is moving downward. So these are the unlike parallel forces. Okay, these are also the unlike parallel forces. In this way, you can show the unlike parallel forces. Okay, so these are unlike parallel forces. The parallel forces which are in the opposite direction. Okay, so those are called as unlike parallel forces. So this is the force system. Up till now, we have studied the system of forces. In the system of forces, we have studied coplanar. There are basically two types: coplanar forces and non-coplanar forces. So coplanar forces again divided into four categories: collinear forces, then concurrent forces, then what we can say non-concurrent forces, and last one is the parallel forces. Parallel forces. In the parallel forces, again it is divided into two categories: like parallel force, unlike parallel force. So all these we have seen right now in detail. So now moving to the further bit, further is the law of transmissibility of force. Okay. Further is law, further bit is law of transmissibility, law of transmissibility of force. What does this law say? If a force is acting at a point on a rigid body, then it is assumed to act at any other point on the same line of action within the body. Okay, म्हणजे काय ते सांगतो तुम्हाला. पण now suppose roll number 23, mute your mic. So here, now I will draw the diagram. Suppose now this is a rigid body. Okay, suppose now this is the rigid body. And I am considering a point in this rigid body. Suppose this is point A. This is point A. Okay. And now here the force is acting. Let us say that this force is, here the force is acting, and let us say that this force is F. Okay. At this point, the force F is acting. On which point it is acting? It is acting at point A. Now if I draw the line of action of force, now if I draw the line of action of this force, then that line of action will be like this. This is the line of action of the force. Okay. Here also, this is the line of action, which is moving back. So what this law says, suppose a rigid body is there. This is a rigid body of arbitrary shape, whatever may be the shape of the body. Okay. B57, don't annotate on the board. Roll number 57. Okay, why are you writing on the board?
Sorry, sir.
Okay, so on point A, force F is acting, and this is the line of action of force. And this A point is within a body. This body is called as rigid body. This is a rigid body of arbitrary shape. Arbitrary shape आहे म्हणून मी कसाही शेप काढलेला आहे. शेप तुम्हाला व्यवस्थित दाखवलेला नाही मी. Okay, I have not shown their circle or rectangle or triangular shape. Any arbitrary shape you can consider. This is a rigid body. So what does the law says? If the force is acting at point A in a rigid body, okay, then on the same line of action, if there is another point B, okay, there is another point B, okay, another point B, then this same force, we can show it as acting on point B. So now if I draw another diagram for your understanding, this is the same rigid body. Okay. Then I will continue with this line of action. This line of action. Okay. And now what I am going to show over here, see, previously point A was here. This is our point A. And force F is acting. So you can show this force. This is the point B. And here is the point B. So we can show along the line of action, we can shift that force along the line of action. So instead of at A, suppose the B point is there, which is acting on the same, which is there on same line of action, and the point B is within the rigid body. Then instead of showing the force F at A acting like this, we can show it like this also. This is also the same thing which we are showing. This is called as law of transmissibility of force. So we can shift this force F along its line of action. Along its line of action. So this is called as law of transmissibility of force. Now you can see in figure A and figure B. So this is your first figure, this is second figure. I will repeat once again whatever I am trying to tell you. Suppose a rigid body is there. In this rigid body, we have considered arbitrarily a point A. Okay. Now on that point A, suppose force F is acting. Suppose force F is acting. This is the one part. Now consider another point which is B, which is lying on the same line of action of this force F, and which is lying within the rigid body. म्हणजे रिजिड बॉडीच्या मध्ये असायला पाहिजे तो पॉइंट, किंवा रिजिड बॉडी वर असायला पाहिजे, त्याच्या बाहेर नसायला पाहिजे, बॉडीच्या बाहेर नसायला पाहिजे, एक तर रिजिड बॉडीवर किंवा त्याच्या आत, आणि जर फोर्सच्या लाईन ऑफ ऍक्शनच्या वरती तो लाय करायला पाहिजे. व्हॉट एव्हर द लाईन ऑफ ऍक्शन ऑफ फोर्स इज देअर, the point is lying on the same line of action, then we can shift this force F from point A to point B as shown in second figure. So instead of showing this force A which is acting at this point A, we can also show the same force over here which is acting at this point B. Okay, पण ते दोन्ही ऍट अ टाइम दाखवायचे नाही बरं का. ए ला पण फोर्स आला आणि बी ला पण आला. हा ए चा फोर्स, हा फोर्स आपण इथं दाखवू शकतो. मग इथं बघा, मी ए ला दाखवलं नाही पण बी ला दाखवलेला आहे. So this is called as law of transmissibility of force. This is called as law of transmissibility of force. You can shift the point of application of the force. A is the point of application of force. You can shift the point of application of force along the same line of action of the force within the rigid body. Within the rigid body. म्हणजे असं नसायला पाहिजे की हा जो बी पॉइंट आहे हा रिजिड बॉडीच्या आत नसून इथं कुठेतरी दिलाय बी पॉइंट बाहेर, तर हा फोर्स तुम्ही इथं दाखवू शकत नाही त्याला. समजतंय? सो वी कॅन शिफ्ट दिस फोर्स F from point A to point B, provided that point A and B both are lying on same line of action of the force and both the points are lying within the rigid body. This is the law of transmissibility of force. So we will write the statement for this law of transmissibility of force. If a force is acting, if a force is acting at a point on a rigid body, then it is assumed to act at any other point म्हणजे फक्त बीच नाही, त्या लाईन ऑफ ऍक्शन वर रिजिड बॉडीचे म्हणजे n नंबर ऑफ पॉइंट्स आहेत. ओके, तर कुठल्याही पॉइंट वरती तुम्ही दाखवू शकता. सो ऍट एनी अदर पॉइंट on the same line of action, of the force within the body. Okay, so if a force is acting at a point on a rigid body, then it is assumed to act at any other point on the same line of action of the force within the body. So see here, this force is acting at point A in this rigid body. Now we can assume that this force also can act at point B, or it can be at any arbitrary point C, D, E, F, which is within this rigid body and on the same line of action of this force. Okay, so this is called as law of transmissibility of force. Have you understood this?
Yes.
So but remember these two things, huh? The point must be on the same line of action of force. म्हणजे within the rigid body म्हणजे तुम्ही इथला कुठलाही आदला मधला असा पॉइंट घेऊ शकत नाही. म्हणजे इथं समजा मी आर्बिटरी पॉइंट घेतला C, तर I cannot show this force F which is acting at point C, because the line of action will get changed. Okay, so the point must be on the same line of action and that point must be lying within that rigid body. किंवा कुठं पण लाय व्हायला लागलेला असं पण नसायला पाहिजे. Okay, so these two things you should keep in mind, and in this way we can show the force at any other point. Suppose it is acting at point A, if the point C is here, then we can show this force which is at point A at point C. And we can show this force which is acting at point A at here, at this point also, or at any other point also. Okay, this is what is the law of transmissibility of force says. So now next is the composition of the forces. composition of the force. What is the composition of the force? The composition of force is nothing but the process of finding out the resultant of the force. It's called as composition of the force. What is the meaning of resultant? Resultant is a single force. Okay, suppose now if a body is there, on that body, if the number of forces are acting, so the resultant is a single force which will replace all those forces and which will produce the same effect as that of produced by number of forces. That force is called as resultant. आता तुम्हाला थोडक्यात उदाहरण द्यायचं तर, now see what is the resultant I will tell you. Now suppose this is a surface. On this surface now, suppose this block is resting. Now if I apply the force to this block, see if I apply this force and here also one force. So now let us say that if I apply the force of 5 kilonewton. Okay. Now when I apply the force of 5 kilonewton, originally this box was here. Now as soon as I start to push this box, it will move further. Suppose it will move by a distance x. And now the final position of this box is, suppose that box comes over here. This is the final position of the box. It comes over here after applying the force. So this is the effect of force on this block. Correct? This is the effect of force on this block. I will draw the surface. Okay. So due to these two forces, which now on this block, if you apply two forces, each of 5 kilonewton, the originally box was here. Once you start pressing it, it is moved forward further and it will come to this point due to the action of these two forces. Okay. So this is the, what we can say, displacement of the box because of these two forces. Now instead of applying these two forces of 5 kilonewton, if I do it by same way, but what I will do on the surface, now suppose the box is there, this is the box or block. Now instead of applying the two forces of 5 kilonewton, I will apply a single force. Like this. Okay, and this force I will apply of a magnitude of 10 kilonewton. And if due to which also same displacement will be there, due to which the effect is also same. So the final position of the block must be over here. This is the final position of the. म्हणजेच काय झालं, मराठीत सांगतो नीट ऐका. सुरुवातीला मी काय केलं, एक ब्लॉक घेतला, त्या ब्लॉक वरती दोन फोर्स ऍक्ट केले 5 किलोन्यूटनचे. त्याच्यामुळे बॉक्सची डिस्प्लेसमेंट किती झाली, एक्स एवढी डिस्प्लेसमेंट झाली. तो बॉक्स पुढे गेला तेवढ्या डिस्टन्सने. मी काय केलं, 5-5चे 2 फोर्स रिमूव्ह केले, त्याच्याऐवजी एकच फोर्स लावला 10 किलोन्यूटन. त्याच्यामुळे पण काय होईल, तो बॉक्स किती डिस्टन्सला जाईल, एक्स एवढ्या डिस्टन्सलाच जाईल. ओके, म्हणजे जे 5 किलोन्यूटन मुळे जो काही इफेक्ट होत होता त्या बॉडीवरती, तोच इफेक्ट कुठल्या फोर्समुळे होणार आहे, single force of 10 kilonewton will provide the same effect as that of effect provided by two forces of 5 kilonewton. So ह्याचाच अर्थ काय की ह्यालाच म्हणायचं resultant. So this is called as resultant of these two forces. So this single force can replace these two forces and it will produce the same effect as it is produced by these two forces. Is it clear now? What is the resultant? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the resultant is nothing but resultant is a single force. लक्षात ठेवा, resultant हा नेहमी single force असतो. Okay. Resultant हा नेहमी काय असतो, single forceच असतो. So the resultant is nothing but resultant is a single force which will produce the same effect as that of effect produced by number of forces, where when they are acting together on the body. When the number of forces are acting together on the body, then they will produce some effect on that body. So same effect is produced by a single force. Then that single force is known as resultant. This is How? I have told you with this example. What is the resultant? So after the resultant, come back to the composition of forces. Composition of forces म्हणजे काय? To find out this resultant. How to find out this resultant? There is some methodology to find out this resultant. So the process of finding out the resultant is called as the composition of the forces. Okay, the process of finding out the resultant is called as composition of the forces. So that is the next definition that we will take, composition of the forces. So here I will write composition of force. Okay, composition of force. In that we will write the process of finding out the resultant force of the given system the process of finding out the resultant force of the given system of forces is called as composition of forces. Okay, so the calculation, how do we calculate the resultant? Okay, the process of finding out the resultant is the composition of forces. त्याला म्हणायचं composition of forces. Is it clear? What is the composition of forces?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So now next is the resultant. We will see the next definition. It is resultant, next point. So already I have explained you what is the resultant. We will write the definition first. So now write this very carefully. While writing the definition, you will understand it. So when the number of forces are acting on a body are replaced by a single force which will produce same effect as that of number of forces then the single force is known as resultant force. Full stop. It is denoted by letter R. It is denoted by R. So symbol used for the resultant force is R. Hope you understand the thing. If not, then tell me. I will explain it once again. When the number of forces are acting on a body, हे तर कळायला पाहिजे की एखाद्या बॉडीवरती n number of forces ऍक्ट व्हायला लागलेले आहेत. वॉट एव्हर मे बी द डायरेक्शन. मी असंही म्हणत नाही तुम्हाला, आता मी दाखवताना मग हॉरिझॉन्टल दाखवतो म्हणून मी 5 10 लिहिलं होतं. डायरेक्शन काही असू शकतील, कुठल्याही पॉइंटला ऍक्ट होऊ शकते. वॉट एव्हर मे बी द मॅग्निट्यूड, वॉट एव्हर मे बी द डायरेक्शन. So when the number of forces are acting on a body are replaced by, so all these forces are replaced by a single force. पण तो सिंगल फोर्स कसा असायला पाहिजे? That force will produce the same effect as that of earlier number of forces. जे आधीचे फोर्स म्हणून जो काही इफेक्ट देत होते तोच इफेक्ट त्या सिंगल फोर्सने द्यायला पाहिजे. Then that single force is called as the resultant. Then that single force is called as the resultant of that system. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, good. So now up till now what we have seen now law of transmissibility of force. So you can move the force along its line of action within the body, okay, from one point to another point within the rigid body and along the line of action. हे बघितलं आपण. Then composition of forces. Composition of forces means the process of finding out the resultant force. तर resultant force कसा कॅल्क्युलेट करायचा त्याची प्रोसेस म्हणजे त्याला म्हणायचं composition of forces. And what is the resultant? Resultant means if n number of forces are acting on a body, then a single force which can be replaced to that all forces and which will produce the same effect as that of those number of forces, then that force is called as the result. म्हणजे जर भरपूर फोर्स एखाद्या बॉडीवरती ऍक्ट होत असतील आणि त्याच्यामुळे बॉडीवरती काहीतरी इफेक्ट होत असेल तर रिझल्टंट हा एक असा फोर्स असतो की त्याचा रिझल्टंट म्हणजे काय तर ते सगळे फोर्सेस हे रिप्लेस केले जातात. कशानी? तर एका सिंगल फोर्सनी. पण तो सिंगल फोर्स कसा असायला पाहिजे? कंडिशन काय त्याला की तो सिंगल फोर्समुळे तुम्हाला सेम इफेक्ट मिळायला पाहिजे जो इफेक्ट तुम्हाला आधी त्या नंबर ऑफ फोर्सेसमुळे मिळत होता. जर मिळत असेल तर त्या सिंगल फोर्सला म्हणायचं रिझल्टंट. ओके, सो दिस इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ द रिझल्टंट. हे तुम्हाला कळायसाठी सांगितलं मी मराठीत. नाउ you can write the definition and in the examination you can write the definition in your own words. It is not compulsion that you should write in this language only, you have to by heart this. It is not expected. Now I am teaching you and I have written some sentence over here for the definition of resultant, composition of forces. आता जसं मी मराठीत तुम्हाला सांगितल्यावरती ती गोष्ट तुम्हाला समजली, then in the examination also you can write it in your own language, but you should take care that your English should be proper. Okay, the meaning should be communicated to the paper checker, then you will get the marks. So now moving further from the composition of forces and resultant, moving further, the next is the law of parallelogram of forces. Next is the law of parallelogram of forces. This is very important law. On this, in the examination sometimes the numericals can be asked, or in the MCQs also some of the small numericals can be asked, which is based on this formula. So now law of parallelogram of forces. Law of parallelogram of forces. Okay, what does this law says? This law says if on a body, suppose now I will take one point. Okay, suppose now this is a point. This is point O. Suppose now on this point if two forces are acting. If two forces are acting, first is like in this way. Okay, P kilonewton is the magnitude of first force, and suppose now the second force, it is having the magnitude, it is acting like this. Okay, it is having the magnitude of Q. Suppose now this is P kilonewton, this is Q kilonewton, and this is P. I don't know the value, generally I am taking. Okay, now what does the law of parallelogram says? If two forces which are acting on a point are represented by two adjacent sides of the parallelogram, two adjacent sides of the parallelogram in magnitude and direction, then the diagonal of the parallelogram will give you the resultant in magnitude and direction. Means what? Now if I draw it, See, this is my force P. So I will show it by this parallelogram. This is the P. Okay, this line is P line. Okay, this is the force P here. Like this. I am showing vector diagram. This is called as vector diagram. This is the force P. And let us say that this is vector A and this is D, AD. Now, again, parallel to this, okay, parallel to this, if I show another side of this parallelogram, so this is my force Q. This is my force Q. Okay, and this is suppose AB. Now I will translate it in Marathi also and in English also I will tell. Now these two are the forces P and Q which are acting on a point. These two forces are represented by two adjacent sides of the parallelogram, AD and AB. Now I will switch over to Marathi. एक पॉइंट आहे, त्या पॉइंटवरती दोन फोर्स ऍक्ट होते, P आणि Q. तर आपल्याला या दोघांचा रिझल्टंट समजा काढायचा असेल, रिझल्टंट लॉ ऑफ पॅरलोग्राम ऑफ फोर्सेस कशाला वापरतो आपण? टू कॅल्क्युलेट द रिझल्टंट फोर्स. टू कॅल्क्युलेट द रिझल्टंट फोर्स. याचा जर आपल्याला रिझल्टंट काढायचा असेल कशाने, तर बाय युजिंग लॉ ऑफ पॅरलोग्राम. तर आपण काय करणार, हा पी फोर्स आहे हा ग्राफिकली असा ड्रॉ करणार, पी फोर्स. ओके, आणि जो क्यू फोर्स आहे त्याला पॅरल इथनं लाईन ड्रॉ करणार, क्यू फोर्स. ओके, आणि ह्याची मॅग्निट्यूड आणि ह्याची मॅग्निट्यूड इथे घेणार. सो these two forces P and Q are represented by two adjacent sides of the parallelogram, and those two adjacent sides are AD and AB. Now I will complete the parallelogram. Okay. Now if I complete the parallelogram, it will be look like this. Okay, parallel to this one is this. This is the parallelogram. Okay, if I complete the parallelogram, this is the parallelogram. Suppose this is points. Now see, the AD represents, this AD represents force P kilonewton, AB represents force Q kilonewton. Then this diagonal of the parallelogram, will give you the resultant of this system. Will give you the resultant of this system, where here the angle between the two sides of parallelogram is theta. The angle between the two sides of parallelogram is theta, and the angle between the resultant force and one of the side of parallelogram, this angle is called as alpha. This is the direction of resultant. Alpha is nothing but direction of resultant, and R is nothing but magnitude of resultant. So what does the law of parallelogram of forces says? If two forces are acting on a body, if we represent those two forces by two adjacent sides of the parallelogram, these are the two adjacent sides of the parallelogram, then after completion of the parallelogram, the diagonal of the parallelogram gives you the resultant magnitude of the resultant force, and the angle, this angle alpha with the horizontal of this resultant will give you the direction of the result. Okay, and this theta is the angle between AD and AB, that is the angle between two adjacent sides of the parallelogram. Okay, and how to calculate the resultant? The formula to calculate the resultant in this case is, I will write the formula. R is equal to under root P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. This is the formula. P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. This is the formula we are going to use when we are solving the problem by parallelogram, law of parallelogram. This is the formula where P is this force, Q is this force, and this theta angle I have already shown, the angle between the sides of the parallelogram. Okay, now I will write the statement. Now I will write the statement here. If two forces if two forces are acting towards or away towards or away from the point are represented by are represented by two adjacent sides two adjacent sides of a parallelogram in magnitude and direction then the diagonal of the parallelogram then the diagonal of parallelogram then the diagonal of the parallelogram passing through point of intersection of two forces point of intersection of two forces represents the resultant in magnitude and direction. So this is the law of parallelogram of force. So I will explain it in Marathi first and then I will tell you once again in the English. काय सांगितले त्या स्टेटमेंट मध्ये. ओके, इफ टू फोर्सेस आर ऍक्टिंग, जर दोन फोर्स हे एखाद्या पॉइंट वरती ऍक्ट होत असतील, मे बी ते टुवर्ड्स पॉइंट असू देत किंवा अवे फ्रॉम पॉइंट असू देत किंवा एक टुवर्ड्स असू दे एक अवे असू दे, काही प्रॉब्लेम नाही. ओके, सो व्हेन टू फोर्सेस आर ऍक्टिंग ऑन अ पॉइंट, देन दीज टू फोर्सेस, हेच दोन फोर्सेस जेव्हा तुम्ही दोन पॅरलोग्रामचे ऍडजस्टंट साइड्स आहेत असं घेऊन जेव्हा तुम्ही प्लॉट करता मॅग्निट्यूड अँड डायरेक्शन मध्ये, ओके, तर त्यावेळेला आफ्टर कम्प्लिशन ऑफ द पॅरलेलोग्राम हा जो डायगोनल आहे पॅरलेलोग्रामचा, जो त्या दोन्ही पी आणि क्यू किंवा ऍडजस्टंट साइडच्या काय म्हणतात ते इंटरसेक्शन मधनं निघतोय, तो डायगोनल. ओके, तो डायगोनल म्हणजे तुमचा काय असणार आहे, रिझल्टंट असणार. तो डायगोनल म्हणजे काय असणार आहे, रिझल्टंट. आणि या रिझल्टंटचं हॉरिझॉन्टल बरोबरचा अँगल म्हणजे त्याला काय म्हणतो आपण, अल्फा, अँगल ऑफ रिझल्टंट, दॅट इज अल्फा. आणि थिटा हा कुठला अँगल आहे, थिटा हा हे दोन्ही पॅरलेलोग्राम जे फोर्स आहेत ना, जे आपण रिप्रेझेंट केलेत ऍज अ पॅरलेलोग्राम, त्यांच्यातला अँगल हा थिटा आहे. आणि हे सगळं काय आहे, तर लॉ ऑफ पॅरलेलोग्राम ऑफ फोर्सेस, म्हणजे ह्याच्यावरनं आपण रिझल्टंट फाइंड आउट करू शकतो फोर्स सिस्टीमचा. जेव्हा दोन फोर्स सिस्टीम असेल म्हणजे टू फोर्सेस आर ऍक्टिंग, त्यावेळेला आपण लॉ ऑफ पॅरलेलोग्राम यूज करून रिझल्टंट काढू शकतो. जो रिझल्टंट कॅल्क्युलेट करायसाठी फॉर्म्युला काय, R is equal to under root p square plus q square plus 2pq cos theta. A formula. Okay. And then what is the law of parallelogram? So officially, if I tell you, then if two forces are acting towards or away from each other, okay, the points are represented by two adjacent sides of a parallelogram. If these forces are represented by two adjacent sides of the parallelogram, okay, which are separated by an angle theta. Then the diagonal of the parallelogram passing through the point of intersection of two forces. Okay, so this is the diagonal of the parallelogram which is passing through the intersection of the two forces. Okay, the intersection of the two sides. That diagonal represents the resultant. That diagonal represents the resultant. So we will see the derivation of this also, although derivation is not there for your syllabus, but for understanding purpose I am taking. Okay, now if I draw the diagram once again. So here this is your force P. Then this is your force Q. So this is the line parallel to Q. I will complete the parallelogram. So this is the parallelogram. Okay. Suppose I will give the name A, B, C, and D. So here this is the vector, line vector of force P. Here Q. P म्हणजे हे पूर्ण फोर्स AB म्हणजे आपण P पकडतो बरं का AD म्हणजे आणि AB म्हणजे काय असणार आहे Q. Okay, so P and Q are what? P and Q are the forces. P and Q are the forces. आणि आपल्याला आता derive करायचं आहे. So we want to derive R is equal to what? The formula P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. This formula we need to derive. We need to derive this formula. So now what I will do, I will extend this base, okay, and I will drop one perpendicular from this point. So this angle is 90 degree, let it be point E. Okay, let it be point E. So this angle, this is already known to us, this angle is theta. Known to us means this angle is theta. Notation we are going to use theta as theta. Then diagonal, this is the diagonal of parallelogram. Okay, so this is nothing but this is our R resultant, and this angle is nothing but alpha, angle of resultant. So we want to find out both R and alpha. R means magnitude of the resultant. R म्हणजे काय मिळालं तुम्हाला magnitude of resultant मिळाली. आणि जर तुम्ही अल्फा कॅल्क्युलेट केला तर तुम्हाला काय मिळालं डायरेक्शन ऑफ रिझल्टंट किती डिग्रीला इन्क्लाइन आहे काय हे डायरेक्शन ऑफ रिझल्टंट. सो हियर नाउ लेट अस बिगिन. ओके, ते सुरुवातीची इन्फॉर्मेशन देत नाही ते तुम्ही सांगितले मी. लेट ABCD is the parallelogram, then AD represents the force P, AB represents the force Q, then AC represents the resultant R. The let alpha is the angle of resultant with horizontal. Let theta is the angle between the two adjacent sides of parallelogram. Full stop. Also drop one perpendicular CE from point C on AD, which will meet at point E. हे सगळं डिस्क्रिप्शन झालं त्याचं काय केलेलं आहे त्या. Now come to the main point. Here I will say consider triangle CDE. बघा triangle CDE. Consider this triangle CDE. Okay, consider this triangle CDE. Now here you can see if this angle is theta, this side and this side are two parallel sides. AB and CD are parallel to each other, and AE will be their transverse or AD will be their transverse. So if this angle is theta, if this angle is theta, then this angle must be theta. आपण किती असायला पाहिजे थीटा असायला पाहिजे. वाय करस्पॉन्डिंग अँगल्स कसं येते ही समजा ट्रान्सवर्स आहे तुमची करस्पॉन्डिंग अँगल्स कसं असते. सपोज दिस इज वन लाईन, दिस इज सेकंड लाईन. इफ these two lines are parallel lines, and if this angle is theta, this angle is also theta. So the same thing is there. Here you can see this line and this line are parallel to each other, and this will be their transverse. So if this angle is theta, this angle is also theta. So now so if I consider triangle CDE, if I consider sine theta in this triangle, so sine theta is, now if this angle is 90 degree, then this is your hypotenuse, and which is equal to value Q. हे P आहे म्हणजे हे वरचं पण किती असणार आहे, P असणार आहे, आणि हे Q आहे म्हणजे हे किती असणार आहे, Qच असणार आहे. ओके, so sin theta is equal to opposite side is CE divided by hypotenuse is CD, which is equal to CE as it is divided by CD. CD means what? It is Q. Q. So therefore CE is equal to Q sin theta. This is our equation number 1. This is the equation number 1. Similarly, here consider for cos theta also. Cos of theta is equal to adjacent side, that is DE, divided by hypotenuse, that is CD. So here if I put the value DE put hai, so DE as it is. CD means what? CD means Q. This CD means what? Q. The value of CD is Q. Here also CD is equal to Q ठेवलेला आहे आपण. So therefore D is equal to what? D is equal to Q cos theta. This is our equation number 2. D is equal to Q cos theta. Now consider the triangle ACE. Now consider this whole triangle ACE. Okay, consider this triangle. I will enlarge it. This ACE. Now if you consider this triangle ACE, okay, consider the triangle consider triangle ACE. Triangle ACE. So here if you use Pythagoras theorem in this triangle, this angle is 90 degree. This angle is 90 degree. So this will become hypotenuse. So this is one of the side. This is also one of the side. So if I use the Pythagoras theorem over here, then it will be AC square is equal to CE square plus AE square. Here AC square is equal to CE square plus AD square. So instead of directly writing, I will write here using Pythagoras theorem. Using Pythagoras theorem, here AC square is equal to CE square plus AE square plus AE square. Okay. But what is the value of CE? We have already calculated the value of CE. CE is nothing but Q sin theta. CE is nothing but Q sin theta. Okay. And here AD you can see A is equal to what? Here AE. AE म्हणजे काय असणार आहे? A is equal to what? It is AD plus DE. So what is AD? AD is nothing but this is force P. This line represents force P. So P plus DE. D means what? We have already calculated D here, Q cos theta. So it is P plus Q cos theta. So A is nothing but A is P plus Q cos theta, and your CE is Q sin theta. Here is the value of CE. Here is the value of D. So now I will write here AC square, but AC means what? See, here it is point A, here it is point C. So AC means your resultant R diagonal. So here R square is equal to CE square. What is CE? Q sin theta. So it is Q sin theta square plus AE square. AE means what? We have simplified AE over here. So A is equal to P plus A is equal to P plus Q cos theta. So it is P plus Q cos theta. This is P plus Q cos theta. Okay. So again it is square. So therefore now if we solve this, so R square is equal to this Q sin theta square will become Q square sin square theta. Q square sin square theta plus, now this is A plus B bracket square expansion, A square plus B square plus 2AB. So A square is P square, B square is Q square plus 2PQ cos theta plus 2PQ cos theta. Okay. So it is 2PQ cos theta. Now what we will do? This is see, इथे एक गोष्ट राहिली, cos square theta राहिलं ना इथं, cos square theta राहिलं इथं घ्यायचं, फक्त हे घेतलं आपण. See here, A square means P square आणि B म्हणजे Q cos theta ही पूर्ण टर्म B आहे. मग ह्याचा स्क्वेअर केला तर Q स्क्वेअर आणि इथं काय येणार cos square theta आणि प्लस इथं काय येईल 2PQ cos theta, 2AB. ओके, 2AB means 2 into P into Q cos theta. तर ते लिहिलं आपण. So now collect this term Q square sin square theta and Q square cos square theta. So from these two terms here, Q square sin square theta and Q square cos square theta, if we take Q square common, या दोघातनं जर Q square common घेतलं तर ब्रॅकेट मध्ये काय राहील, sin square theta plus cos square theta. तर sin square theta plus cos square theta किती असतंय? 1. ओके. हा, तर मग इथं आता मी लिहितो. सो इट विल बी R square is equal to here it is P square plus 2PQ cos theta plus Q square here in bracket cos square theta plus sin square theta. This will remain cos square theta plus sin square theta. So this will become 1. So your R square is equal to P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. This is the value for R square. We want the value of resultant R. So your R will be under root, taking the square roots. So under root P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. So this is your R. This is the derivation. This is how we are going to find out the resultant. This is called as magnitude of resultant. From here you will get magnitude of resultant. From here you will get the magnitude of resultant force. Okay. Here you will get the magnitude of resultant. Still we have not calculated the value of alpha. Alpha will give us the direction of the resultant. Now we have derived the equation for resultant force R, and the equation is this. This is the equation. This equation we are going to use to solve the problems, numericals. So remember this equation. So moving further, now for alpha, again consider this triangle ACE. Consider this triangle ACE, this big triangle. So I will draw it once again. This is C, perpendicular. then this is somewhere A point is here, and I will join these two. So here you can see this is point A, this is point E, this is point C, this angle is 90 degree, this is your hypotenuse. This is your hypotenuse. Then here consider, and this angle is alpha. Hypotenuse means this is your R resultant. Consider triangle AEC. Triangle AEC. So here, if I use tan alpha, so alpha is angle which is situated here. So tan of alpha म्हणजे काय formula असते tan ला? Opposite side upon adjacent side. So which the side opposite to this alpha is CE, opposite side, divided by, if this AC is hypotenuse, then this will become adjacent side. So divided by AE. So therefore, tan of alpha is equal to CE. What was the value of CE we have calculated? The value of CE is Q sin theta. Here you can see the value of CE. This is the value of CE which we have earlier calculated. And what is the value of AE? Here is the value of AE. Here is the value of AE which we have already calculated. AE is equal to P plus Q cos theta. And what is the value of CE? The value of CE is Q sin theta. So we will put those values over here. So CE means what? CE means Q cos theta divided by AE means C is Q sin theta and A is P plus Q cos theta. So here CE is Q sin theta and A is P plus Q cos theta. Okay, this is for tan alpha. Therefore, if I want to calculate the alpha, then it will be tan inverse here in the bracket Q sin theta divided by P plus Q cos theta. Okay, so this is how we will find out the direction of resultant. By using this formula, we will be able to calculate the direction of the resultant. And by using the previous formula, we are going to calculate the magnitude of resultant. Okay, magnitude of resultant. So now one more thing I will tell you, when the resultant is maximum and when the resultant is minimum. That can be asked for the MCQ. That is why I am taking this additional point over here. To see your formula. बरं आधी मला सांगा, हे जे आता मी लॉ ऑफ पॅरलोग्रामचं तुम्हाला इक्वेशन सांगितलंय हे समजलंय का नाही?
हो सर.
हो सर समजलं.
ओके, मग आता पुढे जाऊ आपण की नाउ मूविंग फर्दर. सी हियर, व्हाट इज माय फॉर्म्युला? माय फॉर्म्युला इज R is equal to under root P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. This is my formula. So when what is the maximum value of cos theta? Trigonometry शिकलाय ना?
1.
Maximum value of cos theta is +1. And what is the minimum value of cos theta?
-1.
-1.
You should know this. The minimum value of cos theta is -1 and the maximum value of cos theta is +1. So cos theta is always lies between -1 to +1. आणि जर तुम्ही sin theta बद्दल बोललात तर sin theta is always lies between 0 to 1. So for sin theta minimum is 0, maximum is +1. And for cos theta minimum is -1, maximum is +1. आता मला जर R ची व्हॅल्यू मॅक्सिमम पाहिजे असेल तर माझी cos theta ची व्हॅल्यू कशी असायला पाहिजे? मग मॅक्सिमम असायला पाहिजे. त्याच वेळेला मला रिझल्टंटची व्हॅल्यू मॅक्सिमम मिळणार. ओके, सो व्हॉट इज द मॅक्सिमम व्हॅल्यू ऑफ cos theta? So maximum value of cos theta is 1. What is the maximum value of cos theta? Maximum value of cos theta is 1. Okay, cos theta is equal to 1. To get R max, maximum resultant किती असणार आहे? तर ज्या वेळेला हे R कधी मॅक्सिमम असणार आहे? ज्या वेळेला माझा cos theta मॅक्सिमम असेल त्यावेळेला R काय असणार आहे? मॅक्सिमम असणार आहे. सो cos theta मॅक्सिमम कधी असणार आहे? when the value of cos theta is +1. So now if I put this value over here, what do I get? R is equal to under root p square plus q square plus 2pq into 1. Cos theta is 1, no? So into 1. Okay. So p square plus q square plus 2pq म्हणजेच काय झालं हे? Under root, it is the formula for p plus q whole square. p square plus q square plus 2pq म्हणजेच p plus p. So square and square root will cancel each other. Square and square root will cancel each other, and then what will remain? What will remain? So R max, maximum resultant is, it is p plus q. MCQ ला विचारते ते. Maximum resultant is p plus q. Okay. And cos theta, and here if cos theta is equal to 1, then the value of theta is किती असायला पाहिजे? Theta must be
0.
2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi, and so on. Okay. So cos theta is 1 if theta is 0, 2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi. हे जर कंडिशन्स तुम्हाला न्यूमेरिकल मध्ये दिल्या असतील की थिटा हा 2 पाय आहे, थिटा हा 6 पाय आहे, तर डायरेक्ट आणि कॅल्क्युलेट द मॅक्सिमम रिझल्टंट, तर तुम्ही डायरेक्ट आर मॅक्स इज इक्वल टू पी प्लस क्यू करून टाकायचं त्या केसमध्ये. ओके. अँड देन when cos theta is -1, then your resultant is minimum. When cos theta is equal to -1, then R minimum is. So your R minimum will be, it is -1 येणार ना इथं. इथं cos theta ची व्हॅल्यू मगाशी इंटू +1 घेतलं होतं, त्याच्याऐवजी काय येणार इथं? -1 येणार. इथं आता +1 घेतलं ना आपण, इथं cos theta 1, त्याच्याऐवजी इथं -1 येईल. So this term will become minus, so it will become p minus q whole square. Okay. So square and square root will get cancelled, so your R minimum is p minus q. Okay. So when cos theta is equal to -1, then what was the values of theta? Theta is equal to, it is 180, pi, 3 pi, 5 pi, and 7 pi, etc. Okay, etc. So I think time is over. I have extended already. So I will take the attendance. Up till now, you write down the things. Okay, absent numbers. Roll number 1,
Present.
2,
Present, sir.
3,
Present, sir.
4,
Present, sir.
5,
Present, sir.
6,
Present, sir.
7,
Present, sir.
8,
Present, sir.
9,
Present, sir.
10,
Present, sir.
11,
Present, sir.
12, 13,
Present.
14,
Present, sir.
15,
Present, sir.
16,
Present, sir.
17,
Present, sir.
18, 19, 20,
Present, sir.
21,
Present, sir.
22, 23,
Present, sir.
24,
Present, sir.
25,
Present,
26,
sir.
27,
Present, sir.
28, 29, 30,
Present, sir.
31, 32,
Present, sir.
33,
Present, sir.
34,
Present, sir.
35,
Present, sir.
36, 37, 38,
Present, sir.
39,
Present, sir.
40, 41,
Present.
42,
Present, sir.
43,
Present, sir.
44, 45, 46, 47, 46 is present. Okay, 46 is present. 44 is present. Okay. So 46 is also present. 44 is also present. 47, 48,
Present, sir.
49, 50,
Present, sir.
51,
Present, sir.
52,
Present, sir.
53, 54,
Present, sir.
55, 56, 57,
Present, sir.
58, 59, 60, 61, 62. So in the next lecture we will take the numericals and remaining laws. Okay. So
सर
हाँ,
B22 प्रेजेंट है
22 is present. Okay. ठीक है. 19 is also present. Okay. Anybody? ठीक है. So 18, 29, 31, 36, 40, 45, 47, 49, 53, 55, 56, 58, 60, 61, 62. These are the absent roll numbers.